Although Cleveland Municipal Stadium opened in 1932, the Cleveland Indians, among others, continued to use League Park until 1946. One such use for League Park was to hold exhibition baseball games, and one such event was held on June 1st, 1937, where a relatively unknown Yankees farm team out of Akron, Ohio, took on the world champion New York Yankees and beat them. Want to know more? Come along as we explore history and relics. So just who was this team from Akron, Ohio, capable of beating the world champion New York Yankees? They were the Akron Yankees, a minor league Class C farm team of the New York Yankees that played in the Middle Atlantic League from 1935 to 1941. In 1941, the Akron Yankees played its seventh and final season in Akron. As you can see here, the club never had a losing record in any of those years. In fact, they made the playoffs 5 times in their short span and won a league championship in 1940. Pretty impressive. This is the team roster from 1937 that we're featuring today. Out of the many men that played with this team in its 7-year existence, 40 of them made it to the major leagues. And as you can see here, 6 of those 40 men played on this 1937 team, including Steve Peek, who made it to the New York Yankees in 1941, Don Hendrickson, who played with the Boston Braves from 1945 to 1946, and Ralph Hamner, who played with the Chicago White Sox in 1946 and the Chicago Cubs in 1947 to 1949. Then we have Claude Corbett, who played with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1945 and the Cincinnati Reds in 1946 and again in 1948 to 1949. Then we have Tony DePhillips, who played with the Cincinnati Reds in 1943. And finally, we have Jack Graham, who played with the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants in 1946 and the St. Louis Browns in 1949. Unfortunately, many players had their baseball careers and life interrupted by military service for World War II, which was also the likely event that put an end to the Akron Yankees in 1941. But for today, we're talking about Tuesday, June 1st, 1937, and an exhibition game where the Akron Yankees hosted the New York Yankees at League Park in Cleveland, Ohio. Coming off of a World Series win year in 1936, defeating the New York Giants, the New York Yankees remained atop the American League standings heading into 1937. However, whoever made the team's schedule did not do them any favors. The Bronx Bombers, featuring future Hall of Famers Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Lefty Gomez, Red Ruffing, Tony Lazzeri, manager Joe McCarthy, and my personal favorite, Don Hefner, were all coming to Cleveland to play the Cleveland Indians in a 3-game matchup from Wednesday to Friday, June 2nd through the 4th. Now, they had just played a doubleheader against Jimmy Fox and his Boston Red Sox on that Monday, May 31st, on Decoration or Memorial Day. From there, the team rode a train all night to Cleveland, chartered a bus to meet up with the Akron Yankees, and then waited until around 4 p.m. for the start of the Tuesday afternoon, June 1st, exhibition game at League Park. Some of the next series of photos you'll see are original snapshots, not taken from this particular exhibition game, but from this same series, Indians versus Yankees. The photos I'm sharing with you were taken at League Park and are dated to June 1937, and I suspect it was the June 4th game, as this photo is marked with Johnny Allen pitching for the Indians. And sure enough, Johnny Allen was indeed the pitcher in this series on June 4th for the Tribe. With temperatures in the mid-70s and partly sunny skies, it made for a perfect day for baseball. However, out of the possible 20,000 seats, only about 2,000 fans attended this game. Some of the fans in the stand that day probably came to see this man, Tommy Henrich. Tommy had just debuted with the Yanks about 2 weeks prior to this game. He's from nearby Massillon, Ohio, and got his start in baseball some 3 years earlier from none other than the Cleveland farm system. It certainly was a wild afternoon that definitely kept the statisticians busy as the teams combined for 38 hits, including 20 by Akron. There were 2 homers, 6 triples, and 10 doubles. Lou Gehrig hit a double and walked twice, Joe DiMaggio had a single and had 2 walks, and Tommy Henrich had 3 singles. As for Akron, Ashworth had 2 triples, 2 singles, and a walk. Barrett had a single, a double, a triple, a homer, and a walk. Martin and Graham had 3 hits apiece. Broca pitched 6 innings for New York, giving up 13 hits, striking out 5 and walking 6. Moffitt pitched 7 innings for Akron, giving up 15 hits, striking out 2 and walking 4. Akron took an early lead and held it until the 6th, when New York got 4 runs, making the score 7-6. Akron came back fighting, though, and regained the lead by the half with a score of 8-7. This cat-and-mouse game continued on through to the 9th inning, when New York took the lead again, 13-11. New York manager Joe McCarthy elected to have catcher Joe "Gabby" Glenn serve as the relief pitcher in the last 3 innings of the game. He had never pitched in the major leagues before now. After all, he was a catcher. In the bottom of the 9th inning, Akron Savillage singled and Graham doubled. With runners on second and third, Barrett came to the plate. There were 2 outs. Glenn threw 2 quick strikes. Thinking the game was in reach of a New York win, Glenn hurls one towards Brent, who connects. The ball flew over the center field fence for a 3-run homer. Akron won 14-13. The Akron Yankees toppled the World Series champs in a game that took only 1 hour and 58 minutes. Astounding. The grumbling Bronx Bombers boarded their bus and headed for Cleveland to get ready for the series against the Indians in the following days. And they certainly took their frustrations out on the Tribe, too. The following day, the Yanks beat the Indians 8-4. The Indians weren't having it, though, as they came back on June 3rd and 4th with wins of their own against the Yanks, winning the 3-game series that June 2-1. The New York Yankees finished the 1937 season with 102 wins and 52 losses, winning the American League pennant, and they went on to win another World Series against the New York Giants. The Akron Yankees also finished their season with a winning record of 64 wins and 61 losses. And what about League Park today? Well, it's still here, folks, at the corner of East 66 and Lexington in Cleveland, Ohio. It underwent a complete renovation in recent years and is open to the public. It also features a museum, the Baseball Heritage Museum, located in the former League Park team and ticket office that you see here. There's so much history at this location. This historical marker that's right outside the park doesn't even touch the surface of the amount of history that's here. You'll just have to come and see it for yourself. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for spending your time with us. We enjoy sharing these great stories on great relics and hope you join us again soon. And until next time, everyone, this one is history.